kind of happen?
Yeah, it literally happened, came through from her agent the night before the game, so it literally came through Friday night. And obviously it was a lucrative offer for Sarah to go and play in China, and had a discussion between obviously like management, myself, Sarah and her agent. And obviously for Sarah, it's at this stage of her career when it's like starting to wind down the injuries that she's had, and you know, you got to think about the player as a person, not just a basketball player. And for her to be able to earn the money that she's going to earn over in China for a short stint is, we felt that it was like our duty to support her in that when it's a kind of life-changing decision financially like for her. So we wouldn't want to step in anybody's way of being able to make that decision for themselves for their long-term future that sets them up financially. And so, yeah, it was obviously a tough decision on both parties. Sarah didn't want to like leave, but obviously when something like that comes up, you definitely need to consider it.
It's like you say, it's a tough situation. She's obviously only been here for a few months.
Yeah.
Does it show, I guess, her impact and how much she's loved by this group that it's even something that you guys would consider?
Yeah, obviously, as I said, is like, it's just, if we had the discussion, or her and I had the discussion, that if she was probably 19, 20, 21 and she was at the infancy of her career, it would have been a no. But for what she's done for, you know, not only like the Caps, but Australian basketball, and what she's done for like this club on and off the court, we felt compelled to be able to like give her that release to go and, you know, secure some of her future.
It's the pointy end, getting towards the pointy end now. Do you look for anyone else, or how do you kind of approach it?
Yeah, well, with Jade and then obviously Sarah both being out, obviously like was looking into other players who were around, and then obviously we picked up like Talia, and so I had a pool and a list of players from different positions just in case. So we will be like looking to bring somebody else in. Yeah.
What does it, like, what was your initial reaction and how you guys can respond to it? How much of a blow is it, like, from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, obviously it is. Like, it hurts because, like, Sarah's obviously an opal and played 400 games and, you know, a crucial part, like, of our team. So, obviously, there's a disruption, like, factor to that, but we've also been playing without Sarah for a couple of weeks as well. And so it's not, like, totally, like, that we're lost, and it's not totally that we're giving up on finals. I've said quite a few times to like this group, even with Jade and Sarah out, I still believe we've got enough talent in this team to be able to like make top four even with those two out, and we showed that like obviously on Sunday against Perth. And so my belief and our goal is still to be a top four team, and we've just got to do that with whoever is here, and that's all we've got to do. Is everyone's just got to turn up and do their job every day. Does it make it a little bit more difficult? Yes, but that's the challenge of like sport, and that's what's thrown at us.
So what was the turnaround from when she told you to when she left?
Literally she leaves Canberra today to go home to Melbourne, then to fly out to China. And so it was literally, her and I had a discussion Sunday morning before the game, and then she came to the conclusion then that she would like a release, and we were fully supportive of that.
So that was a bit of a bombshell to have before game. Was it like...
It's like I can like move on from things pretty quickly. I had to focus on a game, so I couldn't be worried about what was going to happen with Sarah leaving or what the ramifications like were. It was literally, I had a job to coach, I had a game to be at, and so that was my sole focus, was the Perth game.
And had to keep a secret too for a couple of days until it came.
Yeah, I can be good at that.
So talk about that game, an amazing effort, obviously by a few key players there.
Yeah.
But Nadia, what an amazing performance.
Yeah, Nards was like, obviously the game winner, but just in general, at both ends of the floor, her scoring output is like, it's the best shooting game that she's had. Her ability to get on the rim and just what she got out of like transition, then defensively, the job that she did like on Maley, and just being able to stick to the scout that we had for her. And just like knowing that, you know, Perth were sitting in second and a well-coached, well-drilled team. And for us, both times that we played them, to hold them to 74 and 75 just shows the depth of our group and the defence that we can play when we need to play, and keeping teams to a manageable score with both Jade and Sarah. And I think that we found a way to be able to like keep the scoreboard like ticking over against a high like octane like team.
Does a performance like that really cement finals belief as well? Does it have that impact?
I think we've got the belief because of like who we have. What I've said to like the group is it's consistency. We can't have a game like we had against Sydney and then have a game like we've had against Perth. It can't be like that consistent across the board. So we've just got to strive for a daily training habits, putting in the extra work to be able to be consistent, to be able to contend for that top 4 spot, because it's still like wide open. I think us, South Side, you've still got like Geelong mathematical like chance of making it. You've still got like Sydney hanging about and playing really hard. So it's still wide open, and so we've got to take care of our own business and not be worried about in the next couple of weeks who's winning and who's losing.
And then just on Jade, I think she said during the game on the broadcast that she was looking at 4 weeks. How is she tracking for that 4 week?
Yeah, that's probably still like 4 weeks. It's just going to depend on how quickly it heals, number one, and then getting her back on court. So best case scenario is like 4 weeks, and we'll just like wait and see. Yeah.
What did you see as the key difference? I mean, you played Perth 2 weeks ago. What changed?
Making shots, most definitely, because I think against Perth it was 34-29 at half time, and then we ended up with like 43 for the game. And so in Perth I thought we got good shots, we just like didn't make them, whereas the other night we got wide open shots and we made open shots. And then I think probably looking back, we had probably one of the toughest weeks of practice we've ever had here in my time. And so I think that kind of like motivated the girls of like, if we're going to have like a tough week, we better leave it all out on the floor. And it just showed, I guess, out on the floor, just I spoke to them before the game about our toughness, our body language and our effort needed to be at a high level to beat a high quality team like Perth. And I think that the girls really did a great job with that.
And when did you tell the players about Sarah leaving?
That was like this morning. So I think she might have like told some players yesterday, but it officially announced like today to the team. Yeah.
What was their response? Talk us through that moment a bit.
I think she'd already spoken to like some of them individually like yesterday. Obviously like a little bit of shock, but obviously there's probably like, I don't know, I can't speak for individuals, so maybe some disappointment. Some people are happy, but obviously she goes with our blessing to be able to go overseas and like do that. And so it would be like any player coming to us with a lucrative offer, we'd consider that. And there's been players in this group that have had offers during the season from overseas teams. Some choose to stay, some want to go, and that's up to the individual. But we'll always make the best decision as a club for the club, number one, but also for the as I say, for the player as a person.
Just on Sydney,
Yep.
obviously last night they kind of showed how to beat Bendigo.
Yes.
Does it feel... Sorry, just JPJ.
Yep.
Does it feel like, I guess, you guys knocking off Perth, Bendigo dropping a game like this run home now, it feels like it might be a little bit unpredictable?
Yeah, I think it's at that stage of the season where anyone can beat anyone, and I think that a little bit of injuries has to deal with like that. The travel at teams, it's always like after Christmas, there's that lull between having a break, playing games, how the mindset is, and bodies are starting to fatigue as well, so it starts to play into your depth. And I think last night probably Sydney played super hard, were really physical, and Bendigo looked tired and a little bit like lethargic. And so I still believe anyone through 1 through to 8 can beat anyone on their day, and I think that's what we're going to see probably over these last like couple of weeks. And I've made that comment to like the group is we've got to be on our best every single game, because I think that the way that results can go, we can't just be relying on other teams winning or losing for us to get that 4th spot. We've got to like go and take it.
Kadi, I guess we've firstly got to ask you about the news that Sarah's leaving.
Yes.
Was it a bit of a shock to you guys?
Yes, a little bit, but I'm happy for her. The whole team is supporting her, so yeah, I'm happy.
I guess she's been out injured, but it leaves a pretty big hole in the roster. What's kind of been the group's, I guess, the players' reaction to having to step up and fill that void?
Honestly, just embracing it, you know, like it's a short season with a lot of ups and downs, so we all have to be ready. And yeah, just going to practice, thinking about like giving it all and trying to be the best player we can be.
How much does it help off the back of that win on the weekend, doing it without Jade and Sarah and in the way you guys did it?
I mean, I wish they was there, but it's actually showing that we have great effort and we're actually able to like cover for them, you know? So it was huge, and I'm so proud of like everybody.
How many games like that have you been a part of where it's finished on the buzzer?
Not quite a lot, but this was insane. Yeah.
And I guess seeing it was a pretty big crowd, seeing the crowd rise as one, was that
Amazing. I think that would be one of my best memories from this season for sure. Yeah.
What was it like on court? Have you ever experienced anything quite as loud or?
Not really, but it was just amazing. I was staring at the refs, making sure they were not calling
Yep.
So as soon as they said yes, that's a 3, I was just I ran up on her. I was I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
And how do you guys think that you will continue without Sarah?
Obviously, it's gonna be hard as far as because we really like her as a player, and obviously we don't want her to leave. But I also think that we're capable to do great things. We showed this weekend that we have the tools to actually go against top teams. So I think we'll just have to focus and come together. And yeah, we're happy for her, but we also have to keep working towards our goals. So yeah.
How are you feeling heading to Sydney this next game?
Actually,
Recently, how are you feeling?
really excited. We have to redeem ourselves, and they're doing really, really good. Especially against Bendigo, they showed that they have that grit, that resilience, and I think they're a great competition for us. And we just need to keep working really hard, because Sydney is a really good team, but I also think that they're beatable everybody on this league. So yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Amazing.